Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which definitely will be a short one. Not because my air conditioning isn't working. It's working fine today. It was not working a few days ago. It's been fixed. It's very comfortable in here. Everything is fine. The reason the vlog will be short today is because the point I want to make is going to be made for me in this article, from which I'm going to quote. It says everything that I was going to say better than I could say it, and actually more than I could say. The subject is Donald Trump and these accusations that Donald Trump is a racist. Now, before I get to this article, I can tell you from personal experience, having lived in New York, as I said in the past, I lived in New York for 40 years, a little over 40 years. I just moved to Tennessee only last January. So I was living in New York through the entire rise of Donald Trump, from a 25-year-old kid who bought the Commodore Hotel, the rundown Commodore Hotel. I was living in New York through the whole time. Nobody credible ever accused Donald Trump of being a racist. You can go look up on the internet and see pictures of Donald Trump with Don King, with Al Sharpton, with Jesse Jackson, well, recently Kanye West. He is not a racist. That is just nonsense. And he's not an anti-Semite either. That's crazy. Again, I lived in New York for 40 years, and I don't think this is going to surprise too many people, but a lot of people in the real estate business in New York are Jewish. It's just ridiculous. If Donald Trump were an anti-Semite, we would know from a long time ago. So that's nonsense too. But I'm getting back to the accusations of racists. The person I'm going to quote is Andrew Stein, who, by the way, is a Democrat. He was the Manhattan borough president for a number of years. As you know, New York has 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and the Bronx. Andrew Stein was the president of the borough of Manhattan. More important, as I said, he's Jewish, and he has known Donald Trump for 40 years too, for more than 40 years. So I'm just going to read you some quotes from this article that Andrew Stein wrote recently about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is no racist. I have known him since 1973 and have never seen any indication or any form of racism. In fact, quite the contrary. When I was Manhattan Borough President and President of the New York City Council, I asked him numerous times to help black or Hispanic groups, and he always came through, many times without publicity. When a hurricane ravaged Puerto Rico in the mid-1980s, I asked many big companies to give various forms of assistance. But the problem was how to get all of this aid down to Puerto Rico. I called Donald Trump, and he provided us with a 727 jet to take all of the donated material down to the island, and he didn't ask for any publicity for that generous act. My friend, Reverend Floyd Flake, the minister of the largest black church in Queens, asked for some help for his senior center. Again, I called Donald Trump, and he wrote a big check. One day I met an African-American woman on the street with her 2 adorable young kids. She was homeless, and I gave her some money and then asked Donald to get her into some low-income housing in Queens. He came through and did so without any fanfare. That speaks for itself. The idea that Donald Trump is a racist is just absurd. It is totally ridiculous. If anybody has a problem with that, talk to Andrew Stein, okay? And I'm heading out now. Thanks for stopping by. As usual, thumbs up if you like the video. Share it with anybody you think would benefit from the video. Got any comments? Got a comment section below the video. You can put in there also suggestions for future topics. You got a Twitter account. You can tweet out my URL, invite your followers to retweet, and of course to watch the videos themselves. And you can subscribe, and finally you can come back and see me again. I will look forward to seeing all of you again as soon as possible. And until that time, bye.